I wasn't aware
Okay.
because I was on survival mode
Mm.
for a really long time. You just don't know until everything stops. And then you just find yourself like something is wrong.
Mhm.
Imagine you're like sprinting. And once you stop sprinting, then your muscle failed. And now you
Yeah.
cannot get up and you're on the ground.
Yeah.
This is burnout.
Welcome back to the Dirt Path Podcast. Today I'm coming to you from our place in Koh Phangan, Thailand, an island here in Thailand. And we're continuing the series from Chiang Mai, Thailand. And today's trailblazer is actually a local Thai. It's Mew. Mew is a 3 times founder, and her current company, our Space Nimman, is a wellness space that acts as a sanctuary in the middle of the hustle and bustle of Chiang Mai. All right, let's take a walk with Mew. Thank you so much for agreeing to come on, Mew.
Thank you for your invite.
So I've been doing the podcast now for a couple months, and I've been doing it from now this is my 3rd country. So I did it in Maine in the US, in Mexico, and now in Chiang Mai in Thailand here.
Nice.
And most of the people that I have had on are other digital nomads or travelers, just because naturally those are kind of the circles that I'm in, right? But I think it's really, really special and a really cool opportunity for me to be able to interview like somebody from the place with such a different perspective and everything. So I'm really curious, like dig into your story today. And so how it came about for people, just to give them the backstory, is we got here to Chiang Mai and Paige found this beautiful, beautiful wellness spot. It was like her oasis here in Chiang Mai. And she kept telling me, Grayson, you need to come. This has been awesome. And then she kept telling me about the founder, how cool she was and what a cool story. And so when I was thinking about who to interview here, you were at the top of the list and we got to meet last night. And in meeting, I was like, oh, wow, she's such a cool person. So yeah, thank you for coming on and agreeing to it. And actually, you said something last night that I thought was cool, which was you were like looking or thinking about going on a podcast. Is that right?
Yes. So first of all, thank you for giving me the opportunity to do this, because I've always wanted to do this. And when Paige offered, I didn't even read much into it. I was in the middle of a meeting and I said, yes, okay. So thank you, Grayson.
Of course, yeah. Yeah, you said you were like interested in doing one. So I think you've manifested it for sure, which your IG name is Munifestor, so your name and Manifestor. Can I assume manifesting is a pretty big part of your life then?
I just realized that it is a big part of it. So I'm a dreamer. I love to imagine things, and most of the time it's clear. I did not know that I am a manifester until someone asked to do my human design.
Okay.
And then it said manifester. So I'm like, oh, that explains it. So yeah, so I changed the name to Munifest because I just feel like manifesting is, a power. And I would like to make what I manifest comes true. So I'm just embodying it.
Yeah.
With my IG name.
I love that. I didn't quite realize it as well. It's kind of later on, but some of the biggest things in my life, like I've 100% manifested with getting a job that let me travel, to changing my career, to finding Paige. It was all things that I was actively manifesting. And when I fully like changed my brain to really go after that, is when it happened. So I'm a full believer in it.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
I think I really do believe in manifestation. I not really believe it, but when you want something so hard, and then everything just aligned because you want it so much that you cannot think about anything else. So there is nothing else you can do but chase after it. So at the end of the day, it's not just thinking. It's also wanting it so hard that you kind of like, sure, I'll step out of my comfort zone.
Acting towards it, right? Like
it.
Chasing that goal as well. I think a little bit like manifesting right now has become very popular. But I think people get wrong. It's really what you said, Mew, is they think about it and they're like, oh, I'm I'm manifesting it. They talk about it to themselves, but they never take the action, so it never comes.
Exactly.
Right?
And that action, Grayson, like yourself, is to say no to continue the contract of like your job that is taking an action toward what you actually want. So I feel like that is one of the most difficult part. Then not the most difficult part. I would say taking the first action is one of the challenge
For sure.
in manifesting.
For sure. I want to give people a little bit of background about you. You grew up in Bangkok.
Yes,
right?
I grew up in Bangkok.
At what point did you leave Bangkok? You're kind of telling us a little bit about that last night.
Yes. So it is a back and forth to Bangkok.
Okay.
It has been a back and forth. I graduated college from Bangkok. I moved and worked in New York. And then from New York, it goes straight to Chiang Mai and then back to Bangkok again. And I will tell the story where I come back to Bangkok after Chiang Mai.
Okay.
Is because I want to be an entrepreneur. That's why I came to Chiang Mai the first year. And I couldn't find anything to do. I not had an idea. I not know what to do. I just know that it seems possible here, but not real opportunity came up. So I moved back to Bangkok and then to work in a 9-to-5 job for a week.
Wow, that's it. A week.
That's it. And then I think there's an inner voice saying that like, this is not what you want. So I did not take the pay. I went over to my boss and I told her like, hey, I really don't think this is for me. I know it's been a week. I'm sorry. I normally don't give up easy, but I don't know why am I doing this for? It just doesn't feel right. Yeah. So I moved back to Chiang Mai and then back to the hotel job.
Okay. And you said at the beginning, you knew you always wanted to be an entrepreneur. Do you remember, was that in childhood? Do you remember a moment where you were inspired or something made that for you?
Let's say I am not good in school. So what I know is that I'm not really good in following instruction. So I'm just trying to, because I know what my weaknesses is. So I'm trying to find my strength, which of course I don't know back then. I only know lately, but I definitely know where my weaknesses are. So I try to avoid that, which is following instructions, this and that. So I'm like, I want to have my own thing that I can tell people what to do. So that's where I'm like, okay, let's start. Where should I start? I don't know, but I'm just really bad at following instruction. I like to create my own path. So that's where everything started. So I'm just me figuring out how do I not follow and create my own instructions.
I love that. And so you do the job for a week. You decide to leave, come to Chiang Mai.
Yes.
But you're working at a hotel.
I'm working at a hotel front office.
Okay.
Yes.
And then what is the story from there to then your entrepreneur journey?
Okay, have to say that I am lucky than most. I have a very entrepreneurial mother as well. She have friends. She asked me what I want to do. And I told her that I want to be an entrepreneur. I want to do my own thing. And I like to design spaces. By the way, I used to work in an architect firm in New York for a year. So I have worked like 9-to-5 job. But then because I always want to be an entrepreneur and being abroad, having a work permit doesn't seem like I'm closer to my dream. So that's where I decided to come back to Thailand where I can actually invest legally. Where were we? I'm sorry.
Talking about the entrepreneur journey for you and your mom getting inspired. The entrepreneur
journey. Yes. And then, so it was also, my mom was a big part of showing me the path where you're not that rich. We cannot afford a rent in Bangkok. So you really got to figure it out because as much as I want to support you, Bangkok is not the right playground. So we pinpoint on Chiang Mai. So I'm like, sure. So my mind was kind of like set on going to a lesser developed city for cheaper rent, cheaper cost of living, cheaper capital to start.
Okay, yeah.
And then from working in a hotel, I get a lot of good reviews that mention my name. And then I started to see my strength. That, hey, I'm actually very good with people. I'm good with customer service. So I'm like, how do I take this to my advantage with my architect degree? So I'm like, why don't we open a hostel? Yeah, so that's when I have my first idea.
Okay.
And then after working there a while, I wasn't brave enough to take on the idea because, of course, I don't have the investment, have the money. I'm just like a girl with a dream. Yeah. And then after a year, I asked to like definitely the hotel owner. They're my friend. They're my mom's friend.
Okay.
Yes. So I got a job there without having the hospitality qualification, but an architect degree. And they were also in the part of building. So I helped them with as a junior architect for the hotel. And then after the project is done, I apply for the job.
Okay.
As a receptionist because I did not want to go back to being an architect firm because that is still a 9 to 5. So I'm trying to find like my strength basically.
Okay. And you felt that, excuse me, the hotel path would maybe get you there a little bit quicker, a little bit different avenue for you.
I feel like I want to play by my strength. And everybody who is an architect, everybody knows the program. Everybody is good. Everybody is creative. And everybody is competing for the lowest pay.
Right.
So I'm like, that's not for me. I want to do something else. Because if the pay is going to be equally as low, at least I want to choose to work for the future I want. So I chose the service industry.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I think you mentioned to us, I don't know if it was in this job or later, that you're a very hard worker and you worked yourself to a point of pretty bad burnout.
Yes.
Was that at this job?
It was actually chasing my dream. It was this job, the hostel.
Okay.
Yeah, the hostel. This job, working in the service for other people as a receptionist, was actually like the easiest job ever. Comparing to the journey after that. Because without knowing that once you decide to borrow someone money to invest in something, there's so much responsible that comes with it.
Right.
So that burnout I experienced was during the hostel.
Do you remember a moment inside that burnout that was maybe like your like rock bottom, so to say, that was like, I need to get out of this, I need to have a change?
Guess what? I wasn't aware until COVID because I was on survival mode for a really long time and you just don't know. You just don't know until everything stops. And then you just find yourself like something is wrong. This is burnout. And when I realized is that when you got to get up from that COVID again, you cannot get up because you're kind of like you were on run. You know, imagine you're like sprinting. And once you stop sprinting, then your muscle failed. Then now you cannot get up and you're on the ground.
Yeah.
So that was burnout.
It's hard to see.
It's hard to see when you're in it.
Yeah, when you're on the hamster wheel, when you're going, it's hard to zoom out. Right?
It is very hard.
And so you were feeling burnt out. At one point, I think you said you then started a cannabis business.
Yes.
Right? Like what gave you the idea for this and how did that come to be?
At first, I kind of like gave up on like the whole service industry. And then I was burnt out and then I found cannabis. Same, I still have a dream. I want to be my own boss. So I'm like, okay, this is what I'm good at, smoking all day. Why not make some money from it? So I talked to the dealer and right then cannabis is becoming legal. So I'm like, hey, this is such a good opportunity. Maybe this is the universe telling me that this is my chance. So I took the chance because I'm like, hey, I tried the hotel industry for a long time. By the way, I stopped the hostel business because I sold the business. So
Okay.
it is a rental.
Okay.
And then
Okay.
I sold the brand with everything. So it's kind of like a restart. And COVID hit. So I have to decide if I want to continue hotel or if I want to do cannabis or what I want to do. So then I decide to open the cannabis and then not do hospitality anymore because I kind of like gave up on that burnout. Like I don't know how to manage the burnout, and you kind of like run away from that.
Sure. And did changing industries solve the burnout for you, or did it seem to follow?
No, not at all. I thought that changing industry would change how you live life. But it's actually just a choice you make, another hustle. Like basically it's you're just picking up another hustle that that you think will make you some profit, benefit, and whatnot. And I'm lost in my train of thought again.
Talking through the cannabis business, kind of where that was going. Seems like you started it, but that burnout followed you.
Yes,
you were saying
it followed, and it wasn't going well. Meaning it went well, but because I'm still burnt out and it's not aligned, and the way I seek healing through cannabis, through business, was not the way out. But I thought it was the way out. I thought it was like the perfect balanced way out where I also burn money and also spiritually healing. I'm like, wow, this is the balance. But no, it's not something it really aligned. I think we talked about this yesterday that cannabis industry, as good as the industry is, it is really like male oriented.
Okay.
And sometimes having to be in the masculine energy as a female entrepreneur, it can be very draining. So I found myself back into burnout again, even faster, because I am not aligned with my energy or with my intention purposes. But I chose that route thinking, like my logic told me that this is it, but it's not.
And so you decide to close the cannabis
Close.
business, right? At this point, so now you've done 2 businesses.
Yes.
Did you have any doubt of, should I be an entrepreneur? Should I just go back to a 9 to 5? Or was it just, okay, what's going to be the next thing?
For me, is okay, what's going to be the next thing? Because for me, I feel like I have chose my path. And if I were to go back now, it seems like it's a little bit too late. So that's how, after 2 business, this my 3rd business is our Space Nimman, is where Paige found us. So throughout this whole journey came out our Space Nimman. So it is something I have done for a long time, which is hospitality and service industry, mixed with personal journey of trying to heal from burnout.
And it's a beautiful space. You decorated it yourself, yeah?
I with help of my senior. Yes, he helped me with the planning and the outline of the circulation, and then I decorate with the furniture.
And it has ice baths,
steam room, swimming pool, and mindfulness activities.
and it's excuse me, it's just a beautiful, beautiful space to go. Maybe you're working and you want, an hour lunch break instead of, going on like a walk or something like that, or just scrolling on your phone. You can have a total reset.
Yes,
By coming here in the middle of the city, but it's like a sanctuary.
definitely.
In the middle of the city.
Because from just what I told you, from my personal experience, one thing I realized is that to be an entrepreneur is not a work-life balance. It's a work-life integration. So it's finding what you don't mind doing, but also don't forget to like take a pause in between, because that introspective, to be able to zoom in and zoom out of what you're doing, is so important. Because or else you're stuck on the hamster wheel.
Right. And I'm curious, Mew, with the last few, you talked about burnout. With our space, and starting this third business, has it been in your mind of this is what I'm going to change or something like this to try to prevent the burnout for you?
The question is that, is there something I want to do to change to prevent the burnout?
Yeah. Is there anything that you're changing this time around to potentially not get burnt out like you did in the
Yes,
past?
definitely. Right now is about asking yourself every time I have to make a decision. Normally, I'll say yes, and then think on how to achieve that yes. Because you think like, oh, I don't want to it's like a FOMO for opportunity. But now to prevent burnout is just an introspective question of like, do I want this? Does this align? And if yes and yes, the last question is that, can you do it? And if that's a no, then maybe that's not the right time. Because sometimes you want something and you want too many things, but you only have 24 hours. And you can't do everything.
Yeah.
Everything has a right time and place. And from my business experiences, I feel like timing is really important. So this is what I know now. Is to wait for the timing. And if you don't feel right, this is the right time, then it's not the right time for you, and that's okay.
And I would also assume that it helps a little bit if you're creating a wellness space for others, maybe that you can use it as well. And you're just kind of creating, in a sense, it seems like the space that you want as well to help you with that, like more harmony in living and wellness focused and everything like that. Is that safe to assume?
It is really safe to assume. Because for me, I've been suffering with burnout and wanting to be an entrepreneur. And I have a lot of friends who is experiencing things in a very similar way. But not a lot of people I would say, I see my life experience. I'm very grateful for my life experience because it has led me to this mindset of wanting to heal and take breaks. I have a few friends who is also a female entrepreneur doing really well, but sometimes not always happy. For me, I have the luxury of being in Chiang Mai to like learn the culture of slowing down. A lot of my friends from Bangkok doesn't have that luxury.
Okay.
So this is where like I feel fortunate to be able to see the gap. So I'm bridging it. So because I feel like if I need it, there'll be other people who need it too. So it is my personal journey, but it's better shared.
And it sounds like the purpose with this business is maybe the strongest of them all because, again, you're solving something for you, which I would imagine really pays off in terms of, how much you want to put into it and the longevity of that maybe as well.
Hopefully, because I just started this business for 3 months. On the side note, I still keep my hotel job, but right now, like stepping back. So I'm only like managing and then coaching and overlooking, but I'm not full time at the hotel. So I guess like it's good to say that you can't be a full entrepreneur because I'm only starting out. So I still need to like hustle on that mainstream of income. However, anybody can get it, and I feel like it's a balance between like surviving, like getting that pay to pay for your rent and building the dream life and trying to see how it can merge.
I'm curious, building the dream life, is there something that you envision with our space where it's like, when I achieve this, I feel like, I'm sure, you're a high performer, you always want to improve, but is there something that like you really envision that it really becomes and embodies?
Right now, it is coming. It is becoming. We are only in the first phase. So what you see of our space right now, it is the first phase of everything. It is only like trying out to see if we actually get good feedbacks from it. And then after that, yes, it's the renovating to match the market. So we did not just like throw in thinking that this will come true. You kind of like test it out a little bit because or else it's just like, you can't you can't waste that much investment and money and people's trust. So you gotta be more sure.
Yeah.
Mm.
Where is the wellness scene in Thailand? Is it still pretty up and coming, would you say? Is it pretty established?
I think it is up and coming. Only a few years that I start hearing like my mom and my friends talk more about like mental health and burnout and whatnot. But I think it's also our generation.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. One thing I would like to mention. So I always have the hotel job this whole time.
Okay.
But one thing that the cannabis entrepreneurship did not work out is because it is two different mindset in doing things. So it's very difficult to switch mindset. So with whatever your stable income is, don't stray too far away from what you're already doing because then you cannot split person or time.
Because our space is still in the hospitality space, at least adjacent, right?
Like,
You're constantly dealing with people.
Exactly. Like, for example, I would like make a brochure for my personal business and of course go to like the hotel and be like, hey, this is like another service. Maybe you're interested. But as for when the cannabis, when I do that, the customer base is not different. So two things cannot support each other. So that's where it was really tiring and draining for the cannabis business for me because it didn't align with what I was already doing also.
Okay. I can imagine that.
Just to add.
Yeah, no, that gives a lot of clarity, and it can really be hard to shift like your whole mindset, especially if you're doing maybe both in the same day. You know, sometimes if you're able to do one focus this day, one focus another day, but if you are in a position where you have to do both, and I'm sure building the business, you kind of have to along with the other job, it can be really difficult to have that change.
Yes, so I think that's like a note.
It's interesting on the wellness scene in Thailand because I think in the US, we in the Western world solve problems very differently, right? We solve the symptoms, not the root cause, like with the medical industry and stuff like that. And we look to the East of doing things that more natural medicines and stuff. But the wellness scene in terms of the sauna and the cold plunge, it seems, well, that's more like an Eastern type of philosophy, that it's new still to Thailand. And I think you were telling us last night that some of the Thai people are still trying to understand, like, just how do I do a cold plunge, right?
Yeah. So there's a significant difference between requiring a new customer who is a traveler or foreigner, and there is the local Thai people. So the foreigners mostly already know about cold plunge and then hot cold therapy. Even like Korean people, Japanese people, Chinese people, they're more familiar with this kind of therapy, but not quite much Southeast Asian. I would say not just Thai people, but we also have Burmese customers these are still new, which personally I think is because culturally, like in the days, we're always a tropical country. So I don't think it is in our culture so much. So it's not aware in Thailand. But I'm very happy that it's coming.
Yeah, for sure. And do you target one more than the other versus the local Thai people or travelers?
Actually, no, I don't target one or the other at all. I feel like I target the intention and whoever feels like they need it.
But in launching so far, it's been a pretty good mix.
It's been a pretty good mix. Surprisingly, we just did a statistic yesterday and we have actually like 55% Thai people.
Wow.
And 45% are foreigners.
Okay.
Like foreigners, non-Thai. So very nice.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
Maybe to add context for the listener. So Chiang Mai has been a big backpacking destination for a very long time for people, a big travel destination. And then it's also become a big hub for digital nomads like myself, people that are working online, staying, 1, 2, 3 months. just launched a nomad visa, letting people stay, a lot more long term. And it's one of like the big hubs. So there are tons of different fast travelers, nomads. And it seems like that's a lot of the business in Thailand as well is catered towards tourism. Would you say that's a big part of like the opportunities in Thailand?
Let's say like Thailand's highest GDP, like one of Thailand's highest GDP is the tourism part. So of course, Chiang Mai is one of them, where like tourism is one of the most prominent businesses you can find around because Thailand just, a great place to visit.
Yeah. I'm curious, Mew, what is the general like Thai point of view on the tourism?
General Thai point of view.
People think it's too much? Do you think people are like really grateful for the opportunities? Just curious, like what you would think, growing up of what you've thought.
I think we know that we are like a good tourist. Like we thrive on tourism, and I think we are happy. So it's not like we don't want tourists. We love tourists. Please come visit us.
Yeah,
yeah.
That's the vibe that I get. As well. Like I go to other really popular destinations, like a Paris or something like that, and I think it's a different a type of traveler maybe that comes to Thailand and Paris. But there's a different energy of the locals, where in Paris, sometimes you don't necessarily feel welcomed. And in Thailand, everybody's ultra respectful and so kind. I mean, Paige has been saying it's one of her favorite like local people is Thai people. Everybody's so nice and a big smile all the time. So it makes sense to me that, it would be more open, I guess, to it. Definitely.
And I think like you cannot really fake this. So it is like great question though, because thinking about it, I think we're just like, we're just honestly about okay with tourists. So that's why like our reaction mostly all over the country has been good. And especially in our culture, I think we're just like very thoughtful. Our culture is very thoughtful. So we think about other people. We think about who comes to our country. Here we think about like, we want to give them a good time. Unless they're like not nice people, then that's a different story,
Right.
But at the very basic of it, I feel like it's about like respect, thoughtfulness, and all peace and love in the culture.
Yeah, I really enjoy the culture and the people here.
Is it your first time in Thailand?
It was for Paige. I've been here a few times. Thailand was my first trip abroad, like that I planned. So after I graduated college, I went with my ex to Thailand for a couple of weeks. Chiang Mai, Bangkok, Koh Phi Phi, Phuket.
Oh, when was that?
That was 2018.
Oh, must change a lot.
Yes. So that was just like a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
And then I did a month in Phuket a couple of years ago. And now a month here in Chiang Mai. And we're going to be going to Koh Phangan next for 1 month, my extend to 2. And I think we'll definitely be back for sure. It's just a beautiful, beautiful country. So much stuff to see. The food, don't get me started. And the people, really amazing.
I would not be so grateful for Thailand if I haven't been out or living outside and to experience the West and different countries. Yes, I'm like, Thailand is great. Cost of living, people, weather. But also depends on what you like. There's no snow here. So
of course,
not for people with love snowboarding.
Yes. And the Thai people, their definition of cold is a little bit different than ours.
Oh, yes. Very cold. I was like my full winter ski coat for like on a motorbike.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, we went to Doi Intanon, like one of the national parks here. I think it's the highest point in Thailand.
Yes.
Right? And we went there the other week, and our guide like had a big coat on and was still shivering. So I gave her my coat, and I was just in a shorts and a t-shirt and completely fine.
Yeah.
But it's what you're used to, I'm curious. So you lived in New York. Did you also do a stint in Canada?
High school in Canada for 2 years.
Okay.
Yes, that's high school. And then you come back for college.
Okay.
here 3 years, and I finished the program in New York.
Okay.
And then I worked there after because it was the last year of the program. So I had the opportunity. So like I said, I consider myself very fortunate.
Was there any experiences that you had in Canada or the US or lessons that you learned over there that you've taken back?
Definitely. So I work as a waitress in both Canada and New York. I work in this restaurant called Khao San Road, Sukhothai. Right now, their name is Pai Toronto. The owners, Pichef and Pinui. And through working with them, I learned a lot of good things, like how to take care of people, how to lead a team. Right now, they are doing really successful business back in Toronto, but I would say that this is really significant to the entrepreneurial because I get to like work for someone and see firsthand someone who just moved to another country and start a restaurant business. So they were, I guess, like I see them as my boss and working really, really hard. So I'm like, oh, okay. So I guess it is what it takes. And I just take my pay and then go home. And I guess I didn't realize that it was such an important lesson that I learned abroad. Seeing people build that.
Yeah. It. I guess as a founder, no matter what, you're always going to be the one working the hardest at the business because it's it's all on you at the end of the day. If something doesn't go wrong, an employee can maybe choose to not do it, but then it becomes on you, right?
But if you think about it another way, you are its creator. So there is no one else that would know about this more than you until you have created a system for it to run.
Right. I'm curious, Mew, you said your mom's an entrepreneur. What is something that you learned from your mom in terms of entrepreneurism?
Oh, I learned a lot. I learned a lot from her, but I guess one thing I really learned is consistency and taking responsibility of your decision and your action. I think that's like the two main thing. Consistency is basically not giving up. Even though like you wake up with a headache and anything, my mom would be like, no, you get out of bed because you have responsibility. Something like that. Or if it doesn't go well, she'd be like, but tomorrow is another day. Something like that. I did not understand as a child, but getting these pep talk leads me into like a founder I am today. And I would say it's a really important thing to like not give up ever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's beautiful. I'm sure it can, there's pros and cons to everything we get from our parents, right? But
definitely.
It can, I'm sure in that moment when you hear that advice be hard and, mom, come on.
Yes.
But in the long term, that's probably why you're very productive, a high performer and have the belief in yourself, I would think maybe.
I think so. And I am really grateful. Like I said, everything, I'm really grateful for my experience. And we're talking about it now in the light where I've already been through it. If you ask me when I'm going through it, the answer of the experience would be so different. And I feel like with the exact same thing you experience throughout the year, it grows.
Yeah. What do you think May from a couple years ago would have been telling herself when she was inside of one of those hard moments?
That is a difficult one. What would I say? I would say like, you're not that important. You're not that important. And don't be in your feelings so much. It's not that important. Nothing is that important. Just make the decision. Just do it.
So a lot of people that listen, I call them Dirt Path curious. So maybe they're in an unaligned job, unaligned lifestyle, but they're looking to change, right? They're looking to start their own business or, change their lifestyle. Is there some bit of advice that you would give to them on, why to take the leap, kind of why to exit the highway and go towards that dirt path, maybe?
Like something I would say to exit that dirt path. I would say, there is no right or wrong. And you are the person living this life. So it's either you be happy with what you choose to stay. Staying is choosing. Be happy with it or do something different.
I love it.
Yeah.
Thank you again for coming on.
Thank you
been
for
really awesome
having me.
to learn a lot more about you.
Thank you.
I finally got to visit the space last night. It was very, very beautiful.
You should come during the daytime.
I'm hoping, next few days before we can leave to squeeze some like relaxation time in. Where can people find you to kind of follow along the journey? Hopefully, come to Chiang Mai, definitely visit Chiang Mai and all of its beauty and come to our space. But where's the best place for people to find you and support?
I would say our Space Nimman. This is like the new profile with the aesthetic and the philosophy of what we discussed about in this podcast. And yeah, it is a beautiful one. So if anybody's interested, they can follow me there.
And
our Space Nimman.
Thank you. And we'll have that in the show notes for everybody.
All right.
And I'm sure it's going to be continuing to evolve. I know you're doing more and more stuff there. Last question, Mew. Why the dirt path for you? You're being an entrepreneur. You've talked about there's been a lot of hardships. So why continue to do it? Why take that path when it is a lot harder?
Because when you're clean, that you're not happy. So why not get dirty? Maybe you're happier. It's all about happiness, right? Yeah. Sometimes following the rules and doing what everybody say, it doesn't fulfill you. And you only live once. No, you live every day, actually. But, make choices for yourself.
Beautiful.
Yeah. So the dirt path. Congratulations on taking your dirt path.
Thank you.
Yes. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity. I hope it was not like so scrambled. I've been through a lot.
No, it was really cool. It was really cool to see, your perspective and everything. It's, everybody, I think from where they grow up, it really shapes you. And when you get to travel, like you had a couple of experiences abroad that gets you out of that bubble. But we all have different norms that we're used to. And when you are on the dirt path and doing things differently, there's different challenges that you face of doing something new and different. And so it's refreshing to hear a perspective of somebody from another country, another culture, and doing something.
I'm sure everybody have their own version of experiences. That's why, humans are so beautiful.
For sure.
Yeah. I'm curious, why do you take your dirt path?
Let's see. For me, the first time I was on the dirt path was when I started nomading at my job. And for that one and for my one now of choosing to go on and build my own business instead of returning to engineering, is there's just this voice in the back of my head. And before it was saying, I want to live abroad. I want to experience other cultures. And so I eventually just had to listen to that. And with this one, it was similar. I've had that voice for a while. I got a nudge from my company to really give me the opportunity. And when I was going over my options, I just knew that if I didn't take this chance now, I would always find excuses, I think, not to.
That's beautiful.
And I just had to listen to that voice. And I think we always have the different voices, right? The one that's telling us to chase the dream and the one that's telling us to, oh, but what can go wrong? Right?
Yeah.
But learning to decipher the two in which moments and find the path that works for you in the right moment. Everything got to a point where I had kind of no choice, and I'm really grateful, from the nomad life gave me experiences that completely changed the course of my life, met new people, new experiences, completely different person. And now building the business, launching the podcast, getting out of the 9 to 5, I've just realized I was in that hamster wheel a little bit, like you talked about. I really enjoyed my job and I loved my company. Such a great opportunity, but I was more comfortable than I thought and more burnt out, and had gotten to a point where I didn't want to learn anymore. I wasn't pushing myself. And so starting this podcast and building the business, it's very, very scary, but it's pushed me to, I think, reach new heights with my own potential and everything. And it's, so early on, right? So I'm really excited to continue. And it's awesome to have the podcast to learn from people like you, who are a bit further ahead of me in different things, and people that I'm inspired by to keep me going.
Thank you. But just know it's not a race. And every time you see someone, nothing, the only absolute is that nothing is absolute.
For sure.
Sometimes someone can be further than you, something will happen and they will be under you, or it could go anyway. So I feel like just stay present, take it day to day, never compare yourself to anyone, because everybody's dirt road is so different.
Yeah.
It's good that you listen to your voice, because that is important, or else you never try, you never know, and you'll always wonder.
Yeah, for sure.
You can always go back to your engineer job.
Always. That was definitely a big part of the decision.
Yeah, you can always go back to the life you have right now. But if you don't take the next step, you don't know ever what's there.
Right.
The grass could be greener there, the grass could be greener here, but if you don't go and see for yourself, you will never know.
And we talked a little bit about it last night too, but the pros and cons of social media. One of the con, like you said, is comparison, right? Is sometimes it can make us believe that this other person's dream or what somebody else is doing, because you're only seeing what they choose to show you.
Exactly.
And even if they are showing you the bad moments, it's still curated bad moments. I like to think I'm pretty vulnerable when I post on LinkedIn. I share a lot of the lows, but it's still curated in terms of there's going to be a line that I don't cross if it involves other people, right? Like family, friends, stuff like this. So you never quite get the full picture. And so it can be inspiring to see other people's stories, but especially on social media when you don't have a lot of context. That's why I enjoy the podcast. You can get a little bit more nuance and context.
Definitely.
I think sometimes you can incept somebody else's dream into thinking it's yours.
Yes.
Where entrepreneurism, nomading is not for everybody.
No.
So making sure that it is your dream, I think, that you're chasing too.
And not someone else's. I think that's really beautiful. And I think that is really the good thing that what you're doing here is exactly like what you said. All of the social media, they're curated. But what we're talking now is the real dirt road that people don't share online. Yeah. Like today, I would say I'm the most open and the most vulnerable online ever. If you go see my personal page or like my work page, our Space Nimman, everything is curated to make it seems like I healed. But no, this is the journey. I'm still in the journey.
Of course.
What I create, what I post is also my way of manifestation. You gotta believe it, and then you find a way to get there. And what other people see is already the end road. Right. Nobody shares the dirt road. But now everybody have you, so thank you for doing what you're doing.
Yeah, thank you so much for coming on. I appreciate it. I really enjoyed it.
I appreciate you as well.
Yeah, thank you. ขอบคุณครับ
ขอบคุณค่ะ
Thank you for listening to another episode of the Dirt Path Podcast. You can find any links to support or follow today's Trailblazer in the description below. If you got this far and really liked today's episode, it would mean a lot if you could give us a 5 stars wherever you found this podcast, subscribe and like on YouTube, and email us. Email us at thedirtpathpodcast@gmail.com to give us feedback, to give us an update of you on your own dirt path, or to send us questions as we might be doing some Q&A episodes in the future. All right. We'll see you next time here on the Dirt Path.
Saw the exit sign flash by, a whisper in the breeze said, take a chance, don't wonder why, just follow where it leads. Oh, the dirt path, it ain't easy, no map to guide the way. Slow and hard, sometimes uneasy, you stumble through the clay. No signs to tell you where you're bound, no traffic to obey. But every step on broken ground builds something great someday.